Hi, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Collecting Glimmers. I'm Disney Dad Canada, but you can call me Mike. Um, Big time Lorcana fan of Disney in general, young kids, wife that's into it, longtime baseball collector. So all of those kind of passions and loves meet together into what's become a pretty intense but fun and fulfilling hobby of collecting. It's been a great time collecting Lorcana, and I think following up on Ravensburger's announcements yesterday and some of the card reveals for Set 8, Reign of Jafar, that are coming up soon, it's a great time to talk about it again. So, yeah, just looking forward to the coming weeks, months, and years, I think, in this. If you are new to collecting TCGs, I think you've come in at the right time. I think you've come into the right property that has a good price point, mass market appeal, and you can get some nostalgia and fun out of it too. And the art's only getting better. The pack experience looks to be getting better, and the gameplay is phenomenal too. Something I've never really done is play TCGs until this one, but it's a lot of fun, and the family enjoys it. And yeah, I'm just really thrilled to be able to get into it here. So, as mentioned, I think probably the biggest thing we need to talk about before the effects of everything else that's coming out is likely um, set rotation. But we'll get into that first. So we don't have to worry about it. You've got the face of Greg Tito here, one of the Ravensburger employees, but you're not losing all of your favorite cards. In fact, I'm pretty confident that after seeing the Tinkerbell, the Rockstar Stitch, and the Winnie the Pooh Honey Wizard reprinted, that they are going to give fan service in both art for like a vanilla card like Winnie the Pooh. They're not bringing it in for playability. They're bringing it in for guys like me that grew up with Winnie the Pooh as really your introduction to Disney. Um, Great art on that card, and they're keeping it in so that they can pull off the enchanted version, which is just magnificent. um, Likely be a high end chase card for those in Fabled. So this one will come out in set 9 there, and that's scheduled for my and my wife's anniversary, 10 years on August the 29th. So I'll probably get into the Fabled stuff the day after, out of respect for what my wife and I have been through and been together. But either way, I mean, when you hear announcements like this, you know that the team at Ravensburger is growing, listening, and caring about not only the players, which, you know, quite frankly, the players account for a lot of the collecting market movement, because I'd say players vastly outnumber collectors in this property, whereas some of your more popular mainstream TCGs, we're looking at you, Pokemon, it is, I would suggest, vastly collector based and not so much player based. So I think the tides will slowly turn on that in Lorcana, but for now, we weren't sure how they were listening to collectors because we knew the player base was really dominating card sales, card pricing, and that makes a lot of sense for a game that's growing, trying to find its own footing. And let's be honest, in the first couple of years, has kind of stumbled on the collector's experience. I don't think they've really, it hasn't been their major focus. It's been establishing a quality game that's approachable and that people can enjoy. But with the introduction of some of the IPs we're going to go over and the expanded card tier rarities and stuff like that, like it's clear that the collectors are now alongside the players in terms of what the team and what Disney Lorcana is set out to do in the coming days. So really excited about the prize card here for set 9, Maleficent Monstrous Dragon. So that's another reprint, another fan favorite. It's getting beautiful art. This is the top 8 finishers for set champs. So I showed this to my 8-year-old son last night. He says, Dad, we got to practice. We got to get on that. We got to try and win that one. And he's excited even that he'll get the base participant entry and then hope to work towards this. It's tough sledding in the set champs that I and he have attended together. We're casual players that like to collect and like to have fun and like to learn, and we're going to continue to do so. But it's, certainly at my local scene, when it comes to the set championships, there's some fierce, excellent players that have transitioned from other games and have been playing probably since they were my son's age and are now in their 20s, 30s, and 40s and just ripping off smart play after smart play while I play Clarabelles and try and keep up. So I'm not exactly in the best state to speak on the player side, but I also think that because I enjoy the game so much, and because we've collaborated as a family to take some time and enjoy this game, I am learning things from the meta, from deck building, and trying to prognosticate what may or may not happen. I don't think I have the slide up here, but basically the first four sets of Lorcana. So first chapter, Flood, Rise of the Floodborn into the Inklands, and Ursula's Return will be rotated out of competitive play, basically end of August, early September this year. What that means for collectors is interesting, but I actually don't think all is lost. I think those first four boxes will become, I'm not so. I hear a lot of discussion and discourse on whether or not sealed products of those four sets will maintain value in the long term, and I'm sure sealed cases will, individual packs will, but knowing that the Enchanted is the highest chase, knowing that it's a 1 in 96 ish pack pull rarity, knowing that some cases have one, most cases have one, some have none, some have two. I don't know. I think the collector is going to have a hard time ripping early product without additional rarity tiers. They'll do it for sure if this becomes mass market appeal, but if even this becomes half the game that Pokemon is, I struggle with sealed collecting in general, although I can absolutely see the value that people have gleaned out of it in other TCGs and even baseball cards and things like that. Like if you get the right box and you hold it the right amount of time and that guy becomes a Hall of Famer, or it has the best Charizard for, the decade, like those things matter. But I just don't, I'm not as convinced on this one. But anyways, people will still want to be going after those enchanteds with, Enchanted Tinkerbell. She's going to be a playable card now for the next rotation, which is going to be, for her 2 more years of play. So people are going to chase those cards, Rockstar Stitch, and those prize promo cards. I'm so glad I got mine at a good price earlier, because I think I have no intention of selling it or moving it in the short term, but I think that card is going to be very desirable to people who want to play Enchanted in their decks. Let's see here. We've got yeah, so this is pretty exciting. This is where the collector starts to get super excited. The new rarity tier. So this is your epic rarity tier. The Elsa Snow Queen is popularized by the D23 2022 promos. These go anywhere from 10,000 Canadian, 7,000 American dollars and up right now, which is unbelievable. I will never own one, but I think it's cool, and it's a very limited known print run of 900 per. So if Lorcana ever pops up, and you got this at a good price, here in the money. But I really like that they're going to use 18 new epics, which I think, as a father of two young kids who love Disney and who love opening packs, they really get excited when we get an Enchanted. And we've been blessed with a few really nice Enchanteds that we happen to have opened out of packs. And that's I think that's definitely elevated my kids' interest in the game. In the collecting, not so much the game, because we don't play Enchanteds. I think that's lunacy, but it's just too much money on the table in those, and we can look at them. We don't have to play with them, but especially when you can get the regular versions of those cards. And anyways, we'll talk about that more in the future. But having these, fall once or twice in each, booster box, or several times in a case, or random trove hits, I think it's going to turn people on to opening more packs of this. And there has been a huge hesitancy for those who chase the shiny cardboard, the full art, the extended art, the no border art. There's been a lot of hesitancy on the Disney side because it's so darn difficult to get anything that looks different than a normal card. I completely appreciate it. I've struggled with it myself. It's only because I become a quasi-casual player that pack opening is still fun. But if I were straight collector, that's all that mattered all the time, I would struggle with pack opening. But they're changing that in set 9 with the adding of epic, that I think is going to be more rare than legendary, but less than enchanted. And that's the perfect place for an alternate art, full art card to sit in Lorcana. The kids are gonna love it, the casuals are gonna love it, and people are gonna feel more fulfilled by their pack openings. So good job by the team on figuring that out. This is the pièce de résistance, the iconic card. Apparently, there's gonna be one Mickey and one Minnie, and we don't know the seeding and the amount of packs it's going to take. It's going to take a few weeks after release to take a look at data and figure out the pack openings on this. But like, if you're a collector like me, and you've hit some of the major milestones, you've maybe got some of your first chaptered enchanteds that you want. You got your prize cards. You've got some of the promos, and like this becomes like I think this becomes most important Mickey card out there outside of the Mickey cards you win from becoming a champion of a DLC event. There's only 500 of those that will be available over the course of time. Certainly, there will be more of these. It will be interesting to see how many, but gorgeous art. They hit it perfectly. Evolving the Brave Little Tailor into the Brave Little Prince. Floodborn Shift. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yes, let's go. I love playing Floodborn Shift. It's one of my favorite game mechanics. So, so much to love here. Gonna need to get one of these. Probably won't get one out of a pack, but I think the next few months I'm gonna position myself to have enough trade equity and cash to get one, because I think this is a no-brainer. And Fabled feels very much like the new chapter. They're calling it the next chapter. It's very much almost like an ode to the first chapter in terms of half the cards being reprints, which makes it more accessible for players. I have a hard time going and spending, 15 US, 20 plus Canadian per pack of the first chapter to end up with nothing in terms of hits. It's a hard sell for me. So if I can get some of those playable cards, if like I fully expect them to reprint Rapunzel, I fully expect them to reprint Ariel Spectacular Singer. So the main guts of Steel Song decks, Amber Steel, is going to remain. I would be shocked if they don't reprint Friends on the Other Side. It's such an important card to Amethyst. I would be shocked if either one version of Madame Mim Fox or Snake does not make their way back in. We saw a beautiful Bambi enchanted for set 8, Return of Jafar. I'm talking mostly Fabled here, but if we dial it back, end of May, Return of Jafar, yeah, it's a 3-cost uninkable. But are you telling me that this can't take the place of Merlin Goat, where you play it and you get 1 lore, and when your opponent plays a character, you have to return this card to your hand? It quests for 3. Yeah, it's a glass cannon, 1/1, but like, if they don't play an action to remove this character, you're questing for 3, or you're playing it again. And so it's like the versatility of this card. It's cool that they're going to keep some of those Amethyst balance package mechanics in here. I think it's great. I think that's gorgeous art. Bambi is Bambi's not a movie for me necessarily. I watched it a lot, made me cry as a kid, made me feel, less tough probably than at that time. And I always, I think probably until I was 18, I thought Bambi was a girl. But we watched it again recently. My kids enjoyed it, and so they'll be happy to see Bambi come out. And if we happen to pull one of these, you won't see your boy Mike upset. Listen, Powerline Goofy movie. There's a lot of hype with it being the 30th anniversary, but I watched this VHS all the time in my early teens, and it really resonates. Father-daughter relationship, cool Michael Jackson style guy on this, with fun pop ballads that I still sing, out loud in the car with the kids. Like, Powerline is for me, my generation, and I'm super excited. Like, I was talking in my buddy's Discord here. If they don't make this card the Eye to Eye action song, like, what are you doing with your life? That's clearly the enchanted version of Eye to Eye, right? Like, anyways, maybe it's the regular art and they got something better, but either way, it's been really, really fun to watch Lorcana sort of grow behind the scenes, and I've been really blessed since I started joining, talking about the game and really collecting it in late December. We're nearly, I'm 5 months into collecting, playing seriously. I'd opened a few packs when it first came out. But coming from casual Pokemon with my son, playing and collecting, becoming more of a Disney family, going to Disney World a bunch of times, really letting that be a part of our family core memories growing up, and now bringing it home and playing this not only with the kids at home, with my wife once in a while. We're excited to dig into the Ursula's Lumineer Quest on the weekend. My son got it for his birthday, so like constantly evolving, forecasting. The idea that it's actually really refreshing for me as a player, and I know this is mostly a collecting focused video, and it, will be as I continue to roll stuff out when I think it makes sense. But starting with set 5, that's kind of where I started buying boxes and ripping packs. So to know that those cards that I've spent, I have these bulk boxes, I've organized them, we got a couple decks on the go, to know those are going to be relevant for the next year plus in constructed formats that I can use in set champs. I actually feel like I'm a little ahead of the game, and I feel like I'm in a good spot. Not only to collect, but to enjoy and to keep building on these sets that were affordable to me. And we've got a lot of the key enchanteds that we wanted out of that. So now it's just focus on what playables do we need? How do we save up the money for those iconic Mickey and Minnie cards that are coming out? And then just continue to watch, the Darkwing Ducks, the Gargoyles. Like this is 90s nostalgia at the max. And they know Ravensburger knows where their bread is buttered. They know that us 90s kids are the ones that are spending the money on this. So very, very excited about the future of Lorcana. Just wanted to step on. Hadn't done a video in a while. Did a little rebranding on the channel, but who doesn't want Mickey Mouse Brave Little Prince? I think that we all want that in our Christmas stocking. So if my wife's watching this, we're getting it. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be hoping to expand on some more collectors talk as things comes out. Excited to see some more enchanteds. For Reign of Jafar being released over the next couple days. It's a great time in the Lorcana world, and I hope you're going to follow along. Please join us, make some comments, follow me on Instagram, Disney Dad Canada. I'm always talking about it, making new friends, and just having a great time with it. So until next time, guys, all the best. Keep collecting.